Good to see you guys.
Who do you think should be the head coach of the new Sonics?
Oh man, that's we got to get the Sonics here first. That's the first mission, obviously, to build the arena. Obviously, partnering up with Chris Hansen is a pretty cool situation, and he loves this area and all that, and also Wally Walker and Eric and Pete Nordstrom. So it's an exciting thing. It's an exciting time. I think about, like I wrote in the Boom Shakalaka piece, the NBA Jam thing. I think that, I remember, like I said, I remember winning, the experience of winning and how many people have been affected. I got here in 2012, and it feels like it's been 10 to 15 years, but in a good way. But I just remember, seeing all the people, seeing a million some people out in the city, and see how many black, white, Asian, different people, socioeconomic status is coming together for one cause and for one great experience. I think basketball does that. I think that I know it does because when I was a young kid, I remember playing with the Sonics all the time and remembering, how cool the jerseys were and how cool Gary Payton was and what a great defender he was and how passionate he was for the game. I didn't even live here. And now, obviously, living here in the city and being a part of the city and just walking around and being around people and seeing people wear their old school Sonics hats and old school Sonics throwback jackets and just seeing the people, it's a great city to have an NBA team. And same thing I think with also NHL. Obviously, NHL is a great sport too as well. And so I think it changes the hearts and changes souls and it brings people together. And there's nothing better than that. So I know from my own personal experience being a professional athlete, but also being a great fan of great athletes and great individuals and organizations, I think that there's it's a no-brainer to me why we should fight to bring an NBA team back here and an AHL team too as well. And it starts with the arena. It starts with getting the street vacation and doing all that work. And it'll be a quick process. Everything's it'll be a state-of-the-art facility, that's for sure. And that's the exciting part. It'll be one of a kind. So it would be really, really special.
Why sign on with that group now in the midst of the season? Why take part now, especially when there's a political issue at City Hall with Key Arena versus Soto?
Well, I think it's an exciting time. I think that obviously, for me, I've always I've known Chris for a few years now, and just being able to talk to obviously the Nordstroms and Wally as well, and it's one of those things that I think it's the thing that we need to make it happen, just because it's a special thing. It'll be for years and years to come, and like I said, I want my kids to have that opportunity. There's nothing better than going to an NBA basketball game and being able to see basketball players, an NHL game. There's so many great athletes, and there's so many other great things you can do in the new facility too as well. So I think that'll be really special. I think that the time is now. I know the city of Seattle, the people of Seattle would love it. I know the state of Washington would love it because I think that it's a special thing, and we're making a commitment to make this thing happen and on our end and trying to find a way to do it.
Are you prepared to go down to City Hall and lobby the mayor and lobby the council members about this?
Of course, I think it's just trying to encourage people and let them understand, how important it is, and it'll open up tons of jobs for people too as well. It's gonna be a state-of-the-art facility and give people opportunity. So the key is the street vacation, getting that happening, and then we'll be ready to roll. So it's an exciting time.
How did your involvement begin? Who approached whom?
Say again.
How did your involvement begin and who approached whom?
Yeah, I met Chris. Obviously, the Nordstrom family. I've known them for a while, but I met Chris a few years ago, and we were having a great conversation. We were talking. I told him, like I've told you guys, I've been really authentic about wanting to own a team one day and being a part of something really special and doing that. And even though I'm young and all that, I definitely have a business mindset, and I want to be able to help people and give back and help change this community, continue to change this community for the better. And so that's been the exciting part. And obviously, Chris and I have connected on that. Wally, too, as well. Wally's a great individual. Pete and Eric, too, as well. And so there was a great synergy, and it was really authentic, and it was an approach to be able to, dedicate, and change history, really. And I think that's a really cool, special thing. And like I said, it starts with an arena first. We have to make that happen. And so I'm excited about it, like I said.
Do you have a financial stake then in the partnership?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, for sure. And it's going to be an exciting thing. But I think it's not just the financial part too. I think it's also the passion behind it and passion behind the people of the city, and trying to bring people together. Like I said, every time I go to the mall, every time I go somewhere, you see people wearing a throwback hat or a throwback jersey or whatever. I remember being from Virginia, wearing the old school jersey, and it means a lot to people. It means a lot to kids, and like I said, just to be able to bring people together in divisive times and be able to bring people together and understand that everybody can be one. It's going to continue to unify the city, and hopefully we can continue to win football championships too, and maybe some baseball ones, and hopefully some basketball and hockey ones too.
At what point did you decide this is something you wanted to be a part of? At what point did that
Well, really, the past year, I've really kind of, for a long time, I've always wanted to own a team and be a part of that and all that kind of stuff. But really, for the past year, I'd say, really kind of been really processing it, thinking about it, really trying to understand and trying to get information from the people of Seattle. How much do they really, or how much are they really passionate about it? And you guys, I've talked about it in here before and tweeted about it and all that. But and then in terms of the business side of it, just being able to sit down with those guys and having deep conversations about, what it can really do for the city and the passion. And then, like I said, the personal connection, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like the personal connection of people wearing the same jersey and wearing the same colors. And we want to be able to help that and bring that. And so, I think it's on us as a city, on us as people, on us as fans. We have the best fans in the National Football League. We have the best fans in the world, and I believe that it's going to do nothing but good things, and that's the exciting part.
How do you feel about walking into a controversy over this because of the Key Arena interest by the city of Seattle?
There's no fear in that. I think that it's a good thing to talk about. Obviously, I think it's I think our focus is building a state-of-the-art facility that's nowhere else. We want to do something that's really, really cool, really, really special. And that process has already kind of been done. It's been a 5-year process of doing that, and obviously just be able to do that will help change the game. And I think will be really huge for the city. Like I said, it will be really huge for NHL. It'll be really huge for the NBA. And so, like I said, it doesn't start until we get the street vacation. And we got to make that happen.
How close attention do you pay to all the politics, the resistance from the port, and the Key Arena?
I pay attention to some of it. I pay attention to some of it for sure. I think, my focus and my personal experience, is just the passion you have from playing the sport, from being around sports to being. I know how much the Seattle Seahawks mean to the city. No matter what people want to say, good, bad, and different. And all from the good years to the bad years. Everybody's been dedicated to this football team. And sports just in general, baseball too, with the Mariners, and we want to do that with the NBA. Why wouldn't we? It's such a great city. It's a financially prospering city, a place where we can help change people's lives and give new jobs and help people around the city. It's a great area. The Soto area, it's really, really special. Obviously, you have the football stadium, CenturyLink, right there. You have the Mariners Safeco right there too, as well. And we want to bring a state-of-the-art facility there too, an arena. So, it's exciting to me.
Is your investment in the arena, and then you'd have an ownership stake in the team as well, or is it one of?
Well, I can't go into too much detail, but the arena for right now, because we don't have a team. So there's a process to all that stuff. My focus is bringing an arena here so we can bring an NBA team and an NHL team, and that's the exciting part.
But then you would have an ownership stake in the team?
That's the plan, yeah.
Did they approach you about that specific part of it, or did you say, hey, I want to do this, I want to have a financial stake in it and do that?
Well, yeah, definitely. We definitely. It was really reciprocal, really. We talked about it, and Chris and Wally and those guys knew that I really want to be a part of owning a team one day, and obviously I can't own a team until we have a team, so I can't be a part of that. Like I said, the first step was the arena part, and that's our focus right now. And then once we have an arena, then the goal is to obviously own a basketball team, part of it, and have great people, great individuals, a great organization that, like I said, helps change people's lives, do great things in the community, and hopefully win a lot of championships too.
Hey, Russ, but the football, right after the game, your head coach
Yep.
said to us, I think this is the moment, I'm paraphrasing, this is the moment I think that we take off running. The enormity of the win in New England. You get that sense as well?
Well, I've been getting that sense for the past few weeks. I feel like I've said to you guys last year at one point, we were right around the corner, and sometimes you're really close and you kind of just know it, especially when you're studying, when you're in the film room, when you're practicing and you're dedicated to the craft. You know great things are going to happen, and we have great football players, we have great coaching staff, we have the best fans in the National Football League in the world, and so we want to continue to play great football. And you got to take one game at a time. It's not too far down the road, so we got to play a very, very tough football team this week. We respect the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be a great football team. It's going to be a great challenge. We're going to need all of our fans there, and to bring the energy, and it's going to be a great venue, obviously, playing here against the Philadelphia Eagles, and we respect them who they are. And so we take one day at a time and just and try to play great football 1 week at a time.
On the NFL Films replay of it, on the touchdown you threw to Doug right before halftime, it shows
Yeah.
Pete saying throw it away. Did you hear that kind of stuff from the field?
Not at all, no. So in my head, we practice that kind of stuff all the time, and so in my head, I know how much time's on the clock. I know, if it's there, I'm gonna take it obviously right away. If not, then take your time. We're in field goal range. Steve got the best kicker in the National Football League, so just knowing where he needs to be and all that, and just having a clock in my head. And sure enough, the guys did a great job. Doug Baldwin moved really, really well. He had a great game. He found himself wide open in the back corner of the end zone, and he gave him a shot, obviously, and knew it was going to be a touchdown, so just went ahead and threw it to him. And I think we ended it with like 6 seconds on the clock. If it was any longer, I was going to throw it away, throw it out of bounds, and then let's kick the field goal. So we practice those things, and that's a tribute to our coaches and Coach Carl Smith, my quarterback coach, Coach Belville, and Coach Carroll, and all of our players, and how hard we work at those kind of things.
And Doug said that the throw sort of violates football 101 a little bit because you're throwing across your back. Do you take more chances in a situation like that? I mean, like when there is like 6 seconds left on the clock?
That's not really. It's halftime, so it's not really a time to necessarily take a chance. I guess it's an educated decision. I think that one of those things when you see a guy open, you just have confidence in him. You have confidence he's going to catch it. Confidence that you're going to throw it right where he needs to be, and make those good decisions like that.
How much is trust involved in that throw in particular, and then also the second touchdown in the middle, back of the end zone where you threw it before you even looked at it?
The third touchdown, the second one. The third touchdown, right? Yeah. So it definitely comes down to trust. It comes down to trust. It comes down to practice, and it comes down to great practice. And those things we've been doing for years. Doug's been phenomenal. He's one of the best receivers in the National Football League, and he does great things. And so like I said, it comes down to trust. It comes down to practice too, and just knowing what you can do and what you shouldn't do, and just having that clock in the head, having that checklist in your head too, and trying to make those good decisions.
Have you changed how you approach man defense and man coverage, and how has that evolved in your game?
I wouldn't say I've changed anything. I think that we're continuing to be aggressive. We're continuing to be smart with the ball, picking up our matchups, and then in zone we want to carve people up. We want to be able to get first downs. We want to make plays. We want to be able to hit the big shot when we get a chance. And so it's just we try to keep it simple in the quarterback room. We always say throw it to the first open guy, and that's just kind of the thing. And if the first guy's not open, second guy's not open, third and fourth and fifth, then we try to make a decision and move around and make the smart play.
Russell, Pete said that after that Saints game, he had to look you in the eye and make sure it was time to kind of be less cautious and open things up a little bit. Did that conversation happen on the plane, and just what stood out from it?
Yeah, that conversation definitely happened. It was one of those things that I was telling Coach we need to roll, and it was vice versa. Reciprocal, and it's just I just kept telling him I'm ready. Let's go. Like we can't wait anymore. We're playing some tough teams coming up, and we just gotta go for it. And so he was excited about that for sure, and our whole football team. And it's a mindset. It's sometimes you can play basketball and just wait to shoot it at the end of the game, that type of thing, or you can be aggressive. And that's not just aggressive in the passing game. It's aggressive just in your mentality more than anything else. It's not really you're going to throw the ball every down. It's more so, hey, let's continue to be aggressive. Let's go for it. Let's go for the win. Let's try to let's score as much as we can in the first half. Let's score as much as we can in the third quarter. You know what I mean? That type of mentality. So I think I can honestly say I'm obviously. I've suffered, some pretty significant injuries and having to deal with those and battle through those, and a lot of guys have, from guys like Tyler Lockett to a bunch of guys, some of our defensive guys too as well. And so it's been one of those things that you stay the course. You play one game at a time. You try to win one football game at a time, and we've done a great job of that. We're in first place, and there's a lot more to do. And there's a lot more exciting things that we want to do, but you can't do it yet. You have to do it today in practice and continue to get better in practice, and it's really that simple.
During a couple of the scrambles, you executed your reverse pivot to escape pressure. What kind of a milestone was that for you in a game?
Well, before in the first few weeks, I wasn't really trying to. I knew, okay, I'm not going to be as fast getting out of it or whatever. So, just trying to stay in the pocket, step up, move when I needed to, third downs, battle, and fight for whatever I need to do to find an open guy, whatever. And obviously, to be able to moving way better, obviously, this week, it's an exciting thing. Last week, too, as well, and just getting better every day. So, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the people that I have around me that help me, get ready for, obviously, the game. Obviously, the trainers have done a great job, and Drew and Carrie and everybody. So it's been a process, but it's a process that you enjoy. You enjoy the journey. You go through trials and tribulations, and you continue to build yourself up. And our teammates have been doing that, and we've fought all year. And so we're in a good place, but it doesn't mean anything yet. We got a lot of football games left, and most importantly, we got a big one this week, and it's a great moment playing a great football team. And so we're looking forward to that.
Russ, all 4 of the Eagles' losses have come on the road. What challenges are there for a rookie quarterback coming into an atmosphere like CenturyLink?
Well, obviously playing at CenturyLink and playing in Seattle, there's no crowd like it. There's no crowd, in football or in sports, in my opinion, like the Seattle crowd, and the fans here. So, it's gonna be a tough environment, obviously, for him. But he's a great football player. I really like Carson Wentz as a quarterback and as a person too. I've kind of seen him from a distance and just, kind of watched, observed, the type of person that he is, and he's a great competitor, great football player. He leads his football team in a great way, and what he's done is not easy to do. He's had a great season so far, so. I know our defense will be ready. I know it'll be a battle, and their defense and their offense will be ready. It'll be 2 great teams, like I said, two great teams, a lot of great players going after it. So, so Carson, like I said, I have a lot of respect for him, and he's going to be a great football player for a long time.
Anything else?
Thank you, guys. Go Hawks.